Stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you need to. What you are about to hear is no coincidence. It does not come to just anyone. At 3:17 a.m. today, an event occurred in the invisible world. A thread from the sky came down. The atmosphere changed, and it wasn't a physical tremor. It was something deeper. It was your name. Yes, yours, whispered between dimensions, but not by just anyone. It wasn't a person from this world or a shadow from the past. It was a soul that loved you beyond the veil, someone who left this earth but never strayed from your essence. It was that presence you sometimes feel when you are alone, when your skin tingles for no reason, when a memory shakes you as if you were still alive. That soul raised your name to heaven, pronounced it with affection, delivered it with reverence, and then on the highest throne God answered. It was at that precise moment that the heavens began to move. Miguel, the warrior of light, received a direct order. Go deliver this message, but do so only when your heart is ready. And here you are. This is not an ordinary video. This is a spiritual portal. If you've chosen to stay, take this seriously. What the Archangel Michael is about to reveal is no ordinary promise. This is the most personal, divine, and accurate message that heaven has kept for you. You will receive it now, in this very second, because this is the only time in your life that you will receive it as it was written for you. Don't ignore it or interrupt it. If you abandon this moment, you may lose the miracle that was sealed with your name before you were born. This message is sealed with prophetic urgency. Your soul is here because the point of change has already arrived. That moment when something new begins or something closes forever. God has decided that today is the beginning of something new for you. The Archangel Michael is ready. Heaven has spoken. The clock has started ticking. In the next few minutes, something will be activated and you will never be the same. Listen with your soul, not just your ears. Words have the power to stir not only the ear, but also the spirit. The first of these is your name, whispered in eternity. While you slept, someone prayed for you in a place you don't know. While you struggled with thoughts you couldn't sort out. While you wondered if it was worth it. If anyone really saw your pain, they were there. Something sacred was happening in a corner of the world you've never seen, in a space that's not of this earth. Someone said your name. It was not by chance. It was a silent prayer, a sacred whisper, a plea uttered from a heart that still beats with yours, even though it no longer walks this earth. That soul you loved more than you ever said, who left behind an absence that sometimes feels like an open wound, never completely left, never stopped watching over you. From that invisible dimension, from that place you still don't know, that soul approached heaven and said, God, don't forget him. He still needs what you promised him. And heaven did not forget. God listened. Miguel listened, and deep in the heavens, a record was opened. There, your name shone like a buried diamond that is finally beginning to emerge. Today, you arrived here without knowing why, as if guided by an invisible thread, as if something inside you, an ancient intuition, a gentle but insistent feeling, told you to stay. It was no coincidence. When you prayed, a heavenly movement was set in motion. Angels began to enlist. Michael, the guardian of divine promises, came down with a clear mission. Deliver the message. Remind them who they are. Remind them that they have never been alone. There are places you don't know about, and your name has been spoken there with honor. You will find places where your soul is seen in its entirety, where your tears have weight, and where your story has been written with compassion, not judgment. This message is sent today from this invisible sanctuary. It is not meant to entertain you or move you. It is meant to mark a before and after. This prayer that someone said for you was so pure and full of love that God could not ignore it. That prayer became a key, and today that key is turning, opening a portal right in front of you. That is precisely why it is here. This message found you on the least expected day, because someone loved you so much that they continue to ask for you from eternity. Heaven does not forget noble hearts. You carried one, hid it, hardened it to survive, and your heart continues to beat, to believe, and heaven honors it. Today Miguel is here, and he is not alone. He comes with answers you did not expect, but your soul was ready to receive. Stay, because this was only the first sign. Before continuing, write in the comments, "No evil can touch me, for I am protected by the light of angels." This will seal your energy with the power of angels and prevent any shadow from approaching. Now listen closely as I reveal the next game-changing truth. A conversation you will not hear will change your life. Not all blessings come with noise. Some come in the form of a whisper. Others come in the form of a conversation you will never hear, but which will change everything. While you are here, your eyes will scan these words, and your soul will remember what it had forgotten. At this very moment, two people are about to talk about you. You don't know who they are. You may believe that your name has been forgotten, but what is about to happen does not depend on you seeing it. It depends on your alignment to receive it. Yes, a divine conversation is taking place, even as you listen, and your name is in that room. Archangel Michael says that in this conversation, someone will mention something. A story, an image, a word, and on the other side, a heart will open, a memory will be activated. And from this small exchange that will seem harmless, a decision will be born, one that will affect your destiny. This conversation will not be casual. It was orchestrated in heaven, programmed by God, and waited years to materialize on earth. Your name is the key to unleashing a miracle that has been waiting to be released. The most important thing is, you won't know when it happens. You won't hear the words, you won't see the faces, but you'll feel it. You will feel a subtle change, as if something invisible has shifted, as if the atmosphere feels different, as if your spirit has finally settled into its purpose. You will know for certain that this will not be your imagination. It will be the result of that conversation. It may be between two people who know you, or between strangers guided by the Spirit. It may take place in a meeting room, a kitchen, on a video call, or a cafe. In that encounter, without you being there, a door that has been closed for years will open. What comes through that door will bring restoration, provision, justice, and a peace you didn't know you needed. The Archangel Michael made his point emphatically. This conversation has already been written in heaven. It is about to manifest on earth, and although it may seem small, it will be the beginning of a chain reaction. When God decides to use something, it's real, even if you don't see it. He just needs you to believe. Pay close attention to your soul, not the world around you. When the echo of this conversation begins to touch your reality, you will know. Something will move. Something will be set free. A door will open without your touch, and you will know it was God fulfilling what was already written. But be careful. Don't judge a blessing by its packaging. What is coming may not seem supernatural. It won't come wrapped in lights and visible miracles. It may appear as a typical opportunity, an unexpected person, or an ordinary situation. But if you look with the eyes of the Spirit, you will know that it is not ordinary, it is heavenly. Michael tells you, don't ignore the small signs. The invisible revolution of your destiny has already begun. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be present with God, for He is everywhere. Your name is being mentioned where it matters most. Receive this strength in your life by writing now in the comments, "I activate my spiritual protection shield." Continuing the message. Spiritual life presents moments when words of comfort are insufficient. You need practical tools that connect you directly to the divine energy being released to you now. When Michael talks about this heavenly conversation, this angelic protection, and this transformation that is coming, you can enhance this connection and accelerate the results in your life. You are receiving what has been kept for you. There are things that did not come before, not because you did not deserve them, but because heaven decided to keep them. God has hidden blessings that are like a treasure sealed with fire, waiting for the exact moment when your soul is ready to sustain what would have only broken you before. Pay close attention. What is yours by divine right will never be given to another. Time, betrayal, abandonment, and oblivion could not erase your name from the original plan. It was hidden, it was protected, and now the moment has come. The Archangel Michael never comes empty-handed. He holds something in his hands. It shines like liquid light, and it is a living substance that emanates a gentle but powerful warmth. It is the record of what belongs to you. It is the promise that God wrote with His own voice before you took your first breath on this earth. This gift is not given to those who simply desire it. It is given to those who resist, to those who cried but did not curse, to those who bled but did not stop praying, to those who felt alone and yet chose to love. You are one of those. Michael came down for a reason. This message was released at this precise moment for a reason. After all you have been through, you are now ready to receive what has been kept just for you. Don't be fooled. God wasn't late, and heaven didn't ignore you. The content of this blessing was so sacred and precious that it couldn't be delivered at any time or in any way. God sealed it with fire, set it apart, protected it from greed, harm, and error, and hid it in His eternal time. He was waiting for this day when your heart would stop running away and begin to open up. That day is today. This message is not just a revelation, it is an activation. Miguel is not here to comfort you. He is here to give you back what has always been yours. This comes with a warning. This will only be activated if you receive it with a truly present heart. Reading it and being moved are not enough. This is a pact, a heavenly transaction. Heaven is reaching out to you. Take its hand with conviction. What Michael holds in his hands is not a symbol. It is the living manifestation of the promise that has been waiting for your spirit to say yes. Now that you have said yes and reached the threshold of a new chapter, God leans over you and declares, "This is the hour. What has been hidden will now be revealed. What has been denied will now be restored. What has been withheld will now be released." Miguel needs one last confirmation before placing this gift upon you: your attention. This is not about being here out of curiosity or momentary emotion. Be here with your full presence, soul exposed, heart open, and faith trembling but steadfast. This is a divine transaction, and heaven does not waste its glory. Respond with your silence, your tears, and that knot in your chest. Your soul recognizes that this is real. What has been kept for you is coming down. It is being unwrapped in the invisible, and you will see it reflected in your reality soon. The miracle that seemed stagnant has already begun to move. Your silence speaks volumes. There were times when you looked up at the sky in the darkness of your room, and not a single word came out of your mouth. Your soul cried out in silence. There was no strength to pray, no hope to insist. It's the weight of exhaustion, abandonment, and why me beating in your chest. And although you thought no one was listening, God was. Every tear that fell when no one was looking was noted. You wanted to give up, but you took one more step. It was counted. Every time you said "I'm fine" when you were falling apart, it was recorded in heaven as a sacred offering. Heaven does not respond to noise. It responds to truth. Your silence speaks volumes. The Archangel Michael delivers a message today that is as sharp as a sword, but as soothing as a balm. God did not ignore you. He was waiting for your silence to reach the exact tone that opens the eternal doors. It is clear that prayers made with words are less powerful than those made with tears. There are cries that are not heard with the ears, but with the Spirit. Yours has resounded in the heavens, though it's been silent. That is why this word comes now. Your pain has not been in vain, and your waiting has not been fruitless. It is clear that every moment of anguish has created an echo that is now beginning to elicit a response. This is a different response, not a rational explanation or a logical answer, but a heavenly response. This is not about justifying what you suffered. It is about redeeming it. One that responds with transformation, not words. Miguel asserts, this answer does not come in the form of an explanation, but in the form of a miracle. God does not want to give you understanding. He wants to give you redemption. What broke you will be what lifts you up. What hurts you will announce your purpose. What made you feel forgotten will be the channel through which you will receive divine honor. But there's more to it. Your silence, which no one understood, was also the bridge through which God built your spiritual sensitivity. While others talked and distracted themselves, you became an observer. You listened beyond. You perceived signs. You felt what no one else felt. Because while your voice was silent, your spirit was tuning in. Today, you are ready to recognize what would have gone unnoticed before. It's clear. God did not waste your pain. He transformed it into wisdom, discernment, intuition, and a deeper channel through which you can now speak directly. What's coming will be more than comfort. It will be purpose. Heaven no longer wants you to survive. It wants you to flourish. Your life, which you thought had lost its meaning, will be used to touch other souls, to open other paths, to light other lights. Your silence was the preparation. This word is the activation, and what is coming will be the manifestation. Lift up your face, for God is not explaining the past. He is delivering the future that the past tried to steal. If this message has resonated with you, and you want to support it so that it reaches other people who are also on the edge, click "Thank you very much." This small gesture is vital to keeping this mission alive, bringing light to those who have lost hope, the whisper that will break the silence. All silence has a limit. There are silences that weigh like mountains. These silences have lasted for years, freezing relationships and drowning out words that were never said. And yet, the sky has never stopped listening to them. Today, the Archangel Michael will reveal a truth that will shake your soul. In the coming hours, your name will be whispered in a place hidden from human eyes. This whisper will have power. This whisper will cause an invisible wave to break an ancient cycle. Someone will speak, someone you may have given up on, someone who, out of fear, pride, or confusion, has remained silent for a long time. They are about to say something that will activate a dormant truth. That small gesture, phrase, word, or mention is the spiritual key that unlocks a locked door that has been left unattended for years. When that happens, something will break, not in you, but in what kept you tied down, in what prevented you from moving forward, in what blocked your destiny without you being able to understand why. Pay close attention to the following. Not everything you carried was yours. Your pain, your burden, and your confusion are all the result of inherited chains, imposed lies, and unconscious agreements that heaven never authorized. You accepted to carry them out of love or loyalty, and God said, "No more." That whisper, that conversation you will not provoke, will release a truth that had been hidden. You will soon discover the reason behind your suffering, the reason behind the stagnation, and the reason you felt held back despite your heart's decision to move forward. When the truth comes to light, you will finally be free of your guilt. You will no longer carry what does not belong to you. You will no longer feel ashamed for wounds that were not your fault. You will no longer beg for explanations where there was only silence. The sky will expose the truth, and when the truth appears, freedom will follow. There's more to this than meets the eye. This whisper will set you free and touch the soul of the one who utters it. There is someone who has carried you in their heart in secret. Someone who cannot pronounce your name without feeling guilty. Someone who remembers you more than you can imagine, and that person will finally speak. They won't do it in front of you. They won't send you a letter or text, and they won't ever say they're sorry out loud, but you'll feel their regret. Spiritual experiences aren't dependent on human witnesses. The soul feels it, the spirit recognizes it, the heart receives it, and you will know. You will experience a strange peace. You will feel an invisible weight lifted from your shoulders. You will sleep differently on that day. You will wake up with a new breath, more lightness, clarity, and faith. Archangel Michael says, "Heaven is about to intervene in a conversation you will not see, but it will change what is coming for you. What should you do? There's one key takeaway. Be willing to let go. Stop trying to understand everything. Let go of the need to control how it happens. Don't expect justice. When heaven acts, it does so with divine precision, not with human logic. It is not the time for explanations. It is the time for liberation. That liberation will begin with a whisper. It will break silences, activate destinies, and seal one stage while opening another full of light. Don't be afraid if you don't see it. Don't worry if you don't hear it. You will feel and know in the depths of your spirit that something has changed. That whisper was for you, and heaven is supporting you. This encounter has already been written. Before you took your first breath, before your eyes opened, your story was written in eternity with light, not ink, with purpose, not letters, with destiny. In that sacred writing, there was a predetermined encounter that could not be altered. It was a moment that had to arrive without delay or delay. It was a moment so precise that even your most chaotic decisions could not erase it. That encounter is this one. The Archangel Michael declares firmly, "Today, you have arrived at the scene that heaven wrote before time existed." Everything appears normal, but the place, day, and time are not ordinary. You are living a prophecy that your very presence activates. Do you know why you felt you should stay here? You felt a pull from the invisible, and your spirit wouldn't allow you to close this message. Your soul knew this moment was already experienced in another dimension. This is not just a spiritual message. It is a dimensional door, a sacred synchronicity between who you are and who you are about to become. That is why, even though so much time has passed, even though you felt that the promises were not fulfilled, even though you believed that it was too late for you, heaven tells you, you are not late, you arrived right on time. This encounter was planned, reserved, and protected. It was hidden from human calendars, but it was always visible to the divine. This is the most important part. This encounter was written for you, and you accepted it before you were born. In the womb of eternal purpose, God showed you fragments of what you would experience. He showed you that it would hurt. He made it clear that there would be losses. He showed you there would be trials, betrayals, and empty nights. You said, "Yes, I will live, for what I will receive in the end will be worth every wound." You are here because you accepted this eternal acceptance. This is the point of activation. Forgetfulness will no longer be an issue. This clears up any confusion. This is the reconnection with your original design. That is why you felt it in your chest. That is why you felt a tremor run through you when you heard these words. The Spirit always recognizes what the soul has forgotten. Archangel Michael assures you that this is not a new revelation. It is a remembered revelation, and the most powerful is yet to come. Every time the heavens meet the human spirit in a prophetic consultation such as this, something breaks in the invisible. Something is corrected in your timeline. Something that was stagnant begins to move. Something that was stolen begins to return. Don't try to understand everything with your mind. Your mind was not designed to process glory. It was your spirit that received this instruction, and it is your spirit that is now reconnecting with the light that formed you. You have reached the threshold, and Michael asks, do you dare to cross it? It's clear that the other side is not the same life as always. There is your original life, your heritage, your identity without distortions, the version of yourself that you always knew existed but had never been able to reach. That version is taking its first step right now. This is the encounter that was already written. This is the moment when you and heaven realign. There's no turning back. The miracle has already begun. If this message touched you, know that supporting this mission is a gesture of love. If you feel it in your heart, click "Thank you" now. Your contribution is essential to helping more people receive words that save, welcome, and awaken. Restoration begins now. There's a word that's worn out here on earth, but in heaven, it still has eternal weight. Restoration. Restoration is not just about something coming back. It is about something being returned in a higher form, transformed, redeemed, and perfect. God takes what has been damaged and rebuilds it with glory. Heaven bends over your story and heals not only what you have lost, but also what has broken you while you waited. The time for this has come. The Archangel Michael stands before you, not with empty words, but with direct orders from the heavenly throne. At his side are 3 angels whose mission is not to comfort you, but to take action. One of them holds a sword, not a sword of human warfare, but a sword of eternal cutting. This sword does not come to hurt. It comes to separate, to break every invisible bond that connected you to the past, to broken promises, and to unconscious pacts you made out of pain. The sword cuts inherited guilt. It shatters cursed words cast upon you. It closes portals of self-sabotage. It cleanses your atmosphere. The second angel carries a scroll. This scroll contains a record, a sacred memory, and a map of heaven about your purpose. There are blessings written there that belong to you, but they've been put on hold. Spiritual inheritances, resources, opportunities, right relationships, everything that has been unjustly withheld, everything that has been delayed by interference, everything that God has promised and you have not yet seen. The third angel carries your name tattooed in light on his arm, not on his back. This is a sign of protection and honor. You were among the few who did not surrender. In heaven, your name is not just a sound, it's an authority. Michael asserts, restoration is not on its way. Restoration begins now. Yes, this pause, this silence, may not seem like much, but it is releasing waves that transform dimensions in the spiritual realm. What does this mean for you? What hurt to leave behind won't hurt anymore. You are about to comprehend what you previously misunderstood. You will receive the answers you have been seeking. There's more to it. This means that time will compress. It's clear that what took months will now manifest in days. What was impossible will now come after you. You will be remembered, mentioned, and blessed by the right people without knowing why. God has activated your name as an alarm in the ears of favor. The restoration that is coming is not symbolic. It is tangible, real, and profound. When it arrives, you will know that it was not luck or coincidence. It was God repairing what you no longer had the strength to fix. It will restore your external appearance, confidence, ability to love without fear, inner peace, self-belief, the distorted image of the enemy, the faith that the years have tried to erode, and the voice you have silenced. Everything will be restored, but this time it will not return the same. It will return purer, stronger, and more sacred, because what has been touched by fire does not return as before. Miguel assures you that you are being positioned to reap what you have sown in tears, in silence, in obedience, and which heaven has never forgotten. The restoration has begun, and you are the first witness. There are chains you can't see, but they bind more tightly than any prison. They are not in the hands, but in the soul. They cannot be heard, but they scream from within. And many of these chains, beloved child, have only one name: guilt. You are guilty of what you did not do. You must take responsibility for what you allowed. You have no reason to feel guilty. You could not prevent it. You must overcome the guilt you feel for believing yourself to be weak. You felt guilty for remaining silent when you wanted to scream. You have no reason to feel guilty. You did everything you could to defend yourself. I feel guilty for not seeing it before. You are guilty of continuing to love even when you knew it was breaking you inside. Heaven has a truth that today will set you free with power. You have no reason to feel guilty. Yes, I repeat with heavenly authority. You have no reason to feel guilty. It was placed on you by a history that was not fair, by words that deformed you, by people who took advantage of your light, by wounds you did not inflict, but took on as if you deserved them. You carried this burden for years as if it were part of your identity. You acted as if being born broken were your destiny. But God said, enough. The Archangel Michael, with a voice that pierces the soul, tells you, you are innocent of the guilt you have carried, and today heaven comes to take it away with its own hands. Divine forgiveness is not just about forgiving what you've done. It's also about liberating you from what you should never have had to carry. Here's the truth you need to hear with an open heart. You were not an accident. You were the result of bad decisions, unfair systems, and long periods of silence. You were targeted in spiritual battles you did not understand. You were the refuge of those who never learned to truly love, but no longer. Today, heaven will untie the knots of your story. Today, God will cleanse you of every silent accusation. Today, a new judgment is written about you, justified, restored, free. True forgiveness is essential here. Forgiveness is not about words and resentment. This is not the forgiveness imposed by religions without compassion. Forgiveness that truly sets you free is the kind that feels like new breath. It is when you can finally look at yourself in the mirror without reproach. Stop hating yourself for not knowing how to do better. You understand that you did what you could with the tools you had, and that heaven never expected perfection, only sincerity. This kind of forgiveness can only come from above. Today, the Archangel Michael bows before you, and in an act that can only be seen in the invisible realms, extends his hand toward your chest. With pure light, he exposes the darkest, most hidden corners of your soul, where your oldest, hardest, and most secret guilt resides. And as he does so, he says these words, "Enough, you are free. The judgment is over. What you carried has been absorbed by grace. And from this moment on, everything begins anew." But there's more to it. The forgiveness that truly sets you free is also what you decide to give. Yes, the forgiveness that can transform your atmosphere today is not only what you receive, but also what you give. You don't owe them anything. They don't deserve it. They haven't changed. They haven't apologized. You don't want to live with that poison. You weren't designed to live held back by emotions that dry up the soul. Forgiving is not saying that something is okay. It is saying that it will no longer have power over you. Forgiving is not opening the doors to harm. It is closing them with peace. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is remembering without pain. You ask yourself, how can I forgive someone who never asked for forgiveness? The answer from heaven is this: forgiveness is not about your strength, it's about my grace. The Spirit of God is with you right now. Blowing on that wound you thought was beyond healing. As you listen, you will experience a deep and transformative release of everything that no longer serves you. Cry if you need to, tremble if you feel like it, but don't hold back, because this is the river of forgiveness, and it has come to wash you clean. When you allow it, when you free that person, and more importantly, when you free yourself, you will feel something inexplicable. Lightness, a holy lightness, as if something invisible has been released from your chest, as if you can finally walk without the shadow of your past, as if a dormant part of you has begun to breathe again. When that happens, you will know that this message was not just a message. It was a heavenly visit, a decree of freedom, an eternal absolution. Then you will be able to declare with the heavens, I have forgiven, and now I am free. For restoration is not complete without forgiveness, and you are now ready to be completely free. There are silences that do not come from distance, but from another dimension. There are absences that defy explanation in human terms, because they are not mere physical losses, but separations between planes. You know this kind of absence. Someone is no longer here with you, but their energy still vibrates strongly within you. You loved this person deeply. They left their mark. They were a presence who left a void and unanswered questions when they left. You have shed tears since. Today, the sky has made it clear. Something extraordinary is happening. Archangel Michael, the guardian of hidden revelations, has descended with a message from beyond the veil. A voice from beyond wants to speak to you. Listen closely. This is not a wandering spirit, and this is not a dark whisper. Rest assured, this will not undermine your faith. This voice comes from the place where souls are free, where love is incorruptible, where time does not exist. It comes from eternity, It comes from heaven. This person, this soul who has departed, was closer to you than you ever imagined. They were there the night you cried inconsolably and felt a warm breeze in your room. They were there when you felt an invisible caress on your shoulder. They were there when, for no apparent reason, you thought of their name and your heart broke. Yes, it was real. True love, the kind that comes from God, does not die with the flesh. It transcends, it remains, it intercedes. That soul was interceding for you on the days when you felt orphaned and without comfort, in the early mornings when you couldn't go on, in the seasons when life seemed to have stopped. That voice was whispering your name to heaven. Miguel confirms it. That loved one spoke for you before the throne. He pronounced your name with sacred tears. And God, moved by that love, said, "It is time to respond." This is why you received this message. It's not by chance, not by algorithm, not by coincidence. It came because it was activated by an intercession from beyond. This will change your heart. That soul loves you more strongly now than ever and does not want you to continue carrying the guilt, the pain, the remorse, or the feeling that things were left undone. In heaven, there is no reproach, only grace. That soul tells you today through the Spirit of God, "I saw you when you cried for me, and each of your tears was a witness to our love. I never abandoned you. I've just changed places. I was in your dreams, in your fleeting thoughts, in that smell that suddenly appears, in that song that plays for no reason, in that butterfly that lands without logic. I am proud of you. You have always been enough. You shone even when you didn't know it. I never stopped loving you. I never stopped taking care of you. You can feel it. You can feel this energy surrounding you. You know you're not imagining things. You feel an eternal echo, a bond that has not been broken, only transferred. Bonds formed from the soul know no time or space. They live on, they continue to vibrate, and there is more. Heaven has allowed this soul who intercedes for you today to join the angelic army that accompanies you. It is part of your protection, part of your spiritual circle. You must not manipulate or interfere, but intercede in light, reminding them that they are loved, seen, and not alone. The Archangel Michael asserts, "The love that crossed the threshold is not lost. It multiplies, and that soul sowed hope in heaven for you to reap on earth. You will feel a healing take place within you from this moment on. An inner part that thought it would never recover. That corner where you kept your frozen grief, where time stood still, where the embrace remained unfinished, is finally receiving heavenly warmth. Forgiveness is not about ignoring those who have left. It's about recognizing that the connection hasn't been severed. It's simply been transitioned to the eternal realm. Today, you receive more than words from that plane. You receive living comfort. That unparalleled comfort is something you have to experience for yourself. This peace comes from within, not from the outside world. You will know this voice was real, and this message was for you. You will begin to feel a relief you have not experienced in years. It will begin in the coming days. You will feel your heart stop aching the moment you think of that person. Your tears will stop hurting, and your soul will begin to dance in freedom. Yes, Miguel smiles as he spreads his wings around you. The sky has witnessed something sacred, a connection restored, an eternal love validated, a spirit healed. Look up without fear, move forward without guilt, and remember without pain. What was once a wound is now a sacred mark, and that voice from beyond will accompany you always. Now write in the comments, "My energy is sacred and no evil has power over me." This statement unmistakably conveys your courage, faith, and spiritual rebirth. There are moments in life when a single word changes everything. There's no need for any of that. A simple yes is all it takes, and I accept it not with words, but with my whole being. Heaven has been waiting for this moment with you. Yes, years of preparation have passed. You endured days of trials, nights when your faith seemed to slip away, and moments when you felt God had forsaken you. You questioned your worth, your place in this world. That was the antechamber. That path full of stones and silences brought you here, to this prophetic moment, to this threshold that heaven opened exclusively for you. The portal is now open. It's not a physical portal, a simple opportunity, or a passing emotion. This portal is spiritual, eternal, and precise. It was written before you were born. God sealed it, Michael guarded it, and it was reserved for the exact moment when your spirit would say, I am ready. That moment is now. The Archangel Michael, with a voice that shakes the invisible world, tells you, the portal opened precisely when your heart trembled. The portal was activated when you decided not to close this message. The portal revealed itself when you decided to stay. When something inside you cried out, this is for me. Michael pauses before delivering the promise and sealing the destiny that has been assigned. He needs to hear something from you. It doesn't have to be grand or elaborate. It can be one word, one decision, one surrender, one key. I accept. It's not just any word, it's a spiritual declaration, an act of alignment. It's a seal of covenant with God. It's your sacred consent for heaven to begin to operate without restrictions in your life. God does not break in where he has not been invited. He does not invade. He waits. He waits for your yes, your availability, your surrender. When he does, the heavens open and the sacred is here. Say, I accept. You are not saying that you understand everything. You haven't said that you have strength or that you know what to do. You are saying, I trust. I trust even though I cannot see. I trust even though it hurts. I trust it, despite my previous losses. I trust, even though my mind does not understand. I trust this because my spirit has already recognized that this is real. When you say, I do, even if it's in silence, tears, or trembling, something happens in the heavens. Michael's scroll opens not with ink, but with light, not with letters, but with eternal codes. Your name appears here, not the name men gave you, but the name God called you with when he thought of you. This is the name written in the book of the chosen ones. That name is accompanied by an activation. Angels begin to move. The environment is transformed, the sky repositioned, pieces of your story written, timelines rewritten, doors unlocked, blessings approached. It was all because of that simple word, all because of that acceptance. If you haven't said it yet, don't worry. This is the moment. You don't need to justify your loneliness, your silence, or your tears. Say it, whisper it, breathe it. I accept. When you do, the atmosphere around you will change. You may not see a ray of light or hear an audible voice, but something inside you will loosen. Your soul will expand, and you will experience a peace you didn't know existed. It will not be a coincidence. It will be the answer. It will be heaven saying, I heard you, I saw you, I received you, and I am active. This is the moment of change. The next few minutes, hours, and days will never be the same. You will notice signs, unexpected conversations, calls you never imagined, revealing dreams, divine encounters. Say yes to God, and God will say yes to you. Miguel leaves you with one final promise. Your life will never be the same again. Welcome to your new reality. This is your true destiny. You are now part of a spiritual family that has always awaited your arrival. If this message has transformed something within you, and you feel that you have truly been chosen to be here at this moment, share your story in the comments. Share your experience. Your story may be just what someone needs to believe again. This is not just a community of spectators. It is a spiritual family where each testimony strengthens the faith of others. You are not alone.